So we're going to look at route selection for a night orienteering race, and we were talking about kind of two ways to look at this. One is kind of building confidence and going after points where you know you can get them and you kind of get the lay of the land, and the other is more based on kind of amount of light that's left in the day, and do you go after points in a darker area of a parcel of land or where you have less confidence. So you can go either way. What I did last night was to head away from kind of the lighted areas and the areas I knew, which was the east belt line off to the east. And so I went west to 8. It was in a little pine forest just east of the depression. And from there, cut across the road and headed up here to number 6. It was in an orchard. Again, when it's dark, you can more easily see buildings and roads than you can the terrain. And so I just keyed off this street right here to get 6. And again, it was still light at the time, or it would have been light if I were racing. And so following this trail all the way up to 4, here you really don't have a good guide. You've got to get off trail. But even though on the map this doesn't look like there's much here, it's actually a pretty significant spur. You always have to realize that everything is exaggerated on a map depending on the scale, and so you've got a little curve here that's definitely a reentrant, and you can key off that and see the spur right here. Then you're dropping down at night. Obviously you're getting a good feel of going down towards this marsh, this depression. Some people key off of frogs chirping and other animals that tend to hang out in the lowland, which I think is pretty cool. And so that's certainly a good little tip. From here, you're off trail. It's getting dark, maybe pitch black, and so there is a pretty sizable, it's not severe, but a pretty sizable reentrant here. You can run up. There's actually a gully that's been formed by runners and bikers over the years. You catch the kind of a real sharp angle here in the trail. That's really helps you, kind of a collecting feature, know where you're at, and then from there it's just right up to get that point at night. At that point, you have a decision about whether you're going to cut some terrain off or whether you're going to get back on trail. In a night race, knowing that this is a defined trail, I would run back to this trail and then run either cut to this other trail if you know about it, the shortcut there, or just get up this trail as far as you can take it before you have to bushwhack over to this trail. You see a little kind of a mild reentrant here, a little valley that you can follow, and you can follow that down towards the lake. You pick up the lake again at night. Lakes usually you can pick up pretty well, always lowland, and then you don't need to necessarily go down to the lake if you're coming from that way. You stay up here on the ridge to get number 1. Dropping back, you're going to go after number 3 now. Ideally, you're able to cut across this trail, get onto this trail, and cut here. If it's night and you just don't have confidence to do that, it's not a long run to follow that trail around. But definitely this is the trail to take you down towards 3. If you've got reflective flags, if the race director used reflective flags, you can see them from, 50 yards away often if it's not thick bush, so you could almost stay on this trail a good distance, especially if you're probably picking up maybe the absence of trees down, which shows the lake down there. You can stay on that trail a little bit, and then this one's really easy to pick up from there. After that, I hopped back onto the trail just because it's fast moving. I could see the lake all the way to where it ended. Then I could drop down in this area. It's all dried up lake to get onto this trail. You're following this trail around here up a hill, and basically, you've got a spur, you got the highest point, so you can kind of just cut off trail and go straight up to this point. And you can actually see that point from down below a little bit if you're looking ahead. So that's number 5 that you got. From here, we're looking to get to number 7. If the race director allows you to be out on the road, some people would actually cut out onto the road and run it all the way, assuming that they could drop in here to this depression. I didn't want people on the actual East Beltline, and so you would have to take these trails back this way. This big purple circle is a water tower. This is private property. Very obvious that it's fenced in, so that acts as a good kind of collecting feature or attack point to kind of cut across these trails or stay on one of these trails. Either way, you're heading all the way to 7. Pretty obvious west side of the depression here. And then you are dropping down to get 10 and 11. Have to cross the East Beltline at the 4 mile per race director instructions. From here, knowing that it's dark by now and not knowing the terrain at all, you might just follow the East Beltline down till you get to this depression, drop in it. Very easy to find 10 right there. There's just a little culvert and a little bit of water there on the map. There's really nothing in this depression. If you look ahead, you don't see tons of vegetation, so you can run right to 11. And you know the terrain going back, so running right back the way you came is sometimes a fast strategy at night if that's the way things flow and you need to get back to where you came from. Follow the Beltline up because we need to cross it at 4 mile. Following this trail down to the south. You can go west a little ways here before you drop in, just because it's easy running up here in the orchard. But you don't want to wait too long to drop in. So drop in, when you feel you're at least halfway past through the marsh area, and then you grab 9 from there, and it's orchard back to the start finish.